What up, fam? Today I got a special video for you guys because all my videos are special videos. A running education video on running in the heat, or how to mitigate heat while running, as in how to make heat feel a lot less impactful on your body, both in the short term and the long term. If you guys are liking what you're seeing so far, running education type videos, leave a comment down below what topic you would like for me to talk about next, and smash that like button. It really helps the video and it really helps the channel. So, as we all know, running in the heat can be detrimental to performance. It's all about core body temperature. Core body temperature is the temperature that your body needs, 98.6 around thereof to regulate to be able to function properly. Now, when the body gets to about 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, there are certain mechanisms that go on that force your body to slow down to keep it from hurting itself. So, we're going to talk about ways and hierarchies of what you should focus on to mitigate heat and perform your best while running or racing in the heat. Quick disclaimer, make sure you talk to your qualified healthcare provider before you decide to run or run in the heat or any of that thereof, because there may be other things that may be going on that if you do decide to run in the heat, they may be detrimental to your health. So get it clear from your healthcare provider first. With that being said, here's number one, which is aerobic fitness, the highest and most important of the hierarchy of heat mitigation. Now, naturally, heat affects performance. The optimum race temperature, get a pen and pad, is about 44 degrees Fahrenheit to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. When you're out of that range, both below, which will be a topic for another video, and above, which is the topic of this video, will affect your performance adversely. But the more acclimated to the heat you are, the less adverse it'll have an effect. On average, studies show that if you are a runner that runs about 5:45 pace per mile or faster in a race, for every 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit above 59 degrees Fahrenheit will affect your mile pace by about 1 second per mile. If you are between about 7:30 per mile and about 10 minutes per mile in a race in the heat, will actually affect you more. It will affect you about 4 to 4.5 seconds per mile for every 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit over 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, men tend to perform better on the upper end of that 44 to 59, and women tend to perform better on the lower end of that 44 to 59. But it is shown that women can actually perform better in extreme heat conditions compared to men. Now, aerobic fitness comes into play stating those facts because it makes sense that the more aerobically fit you are, the less time you're on your feet, the less heat production, the less time you're outside, the less it's going to affect your body. Just by exercising, you are increasing your core body temperature. You are training your body to be able to handle a natural increase in core body temperature. When the body hits a range of about 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, it starts to have detriment to performance. You start to slow down. It tries to maintain homeostasis, trying to keep that body temperature as close to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit as possible without hurting itself. But if you get more fit, more aerobically fit, you increase your natural core body temperature. You can actually increase your performance in the heat by just running alone at about 50% or higher of your VO2 max for several weeks to help with heat mitigation, aside from running in the heat alone. So if you're in a place that does not have a lot of heat for whatever reason, or it's winter, you can work out and actually increase your heat mitigation to an extent with aerobic fitness. That is number one. Next is number two, which is heat acclimatization. Now, it is the summer months here in the northern hemisphere, and it's a lot hotter, in my opinion, than it has been in several years. And people tend to avoid the heat entirely, which is a big no-no when it comes to running. You need some heat exposure. You need some dehydration, which I'll talk about in a bit, to get some good stimuli adaptation to performing better in the heat. So do not avoid the heat entirely. I would start with, if you're not used to running the heat, start at 10 minutes. And over several weeks, reach up to about an hour or more of being outside in the heat. I know when you first go out, it kind of sucks, but believe it or not, you will acclimate to the heat to a certain extent. Don't avoid the heat entirely. It takes the body about 10 to 14 days of repeated heat exposure to acclimate to the heat. This is what happens to your body. When you run in the heat, you have an increase in sweat rate, you have a decrease in loss of electrolytes through the skin, you have an increase in blood volume to help mitigate heat. When blood shunts away from the core to the extremities to help dissipate heat, your core temperature is naturally lower when you're at rest and while you're exercising. Running in the heat or acclimating to the heat will make you a better runner overall, period, regardless if you're racing in the heat or not. So heat acclimatization is number two. Number three is pre-exercise cooling believe it or not, like ice vests, drinking a slushie, putting a towel around your neck, believe it or not, it helps as well, and the slushie part. You see runners, especially in, look at the women's marathon this past Olympics, look at Molly Seidel. There's a video she posted of her opening an ice bag and throwing it on herself. That is probably an attempt to lower core body temperature. The hierarchies of what you can do to pre-exercise cool would be ice vest. You can get a hold of one. I know Nike has one, but they don't have any smalls or mediums left. You'll probably find one on Amazon. You wear that before you go run. If you don't have that, you could do a ice towel around the head or neck. The head and neck are very big simulators to heat production and respond to mitigation of heat a lot quicker. So just placing a cool towel around your neck. Number 3 would be literally just drinking a Slurpee, not sponsored, or just an ice slushie or any ice beverage. Works a lot better, almost as much as good as complete body ice immersion or better than drinking cold water alone. Pre-exercise cooling is number 3. And last but not least, number 4 is fluid intake. Believe it or not, is the least important of the factors of heat mitigation. Like I said earlier, you need some dehydration, but not no more than 2%. You want to make sure that when you go into the run that you're already hydrated. How can you check if you're already hydrated? Make sure that your urine, a good indicator is that your urine is a pale yellow, but not too pale, because you don't want to drink too much water. Once you're thirsty, it's already too late. Your brain has already already told your body that, hey, you need a drink. At that point, you're probably about 1 to 2% dehydrated. So don't go out and run at that point. Make sure you're hydrated then. Don't chug either. It takes the body about 20 minutes to absorb about 6 to 8 ounces of fluid. So there's no point in chugging a bunch of water or fluid either. Another topic for another video, talking about other things you could drink besides water to help the absorption of fluid into the gut a lot better. Gut emptying and stuff like that could be a total topic for another video. So for the hierarchies of running, we got, to recap, we got aerobic fitness. Make sure you're aerobically fit to begin with. Heat acclimatization, acclimate to the heat, 10 to 14 days, repeated heat exposure. Pre-exercise cooling, water submersion, ice vest, placing a cold towel around your neck, drinking a slushie. And 4, make sure you're well hydrated, making sure that hydration is there, that increase in blood volume to help dissipate heat a lot better, because if you can't dissipate heat because if you don't have enough fluid in you, your blood volume is lower, you're going to have a hard time keeping that body temperature in a homeostatic state. So if you guys like this video, please smash that like button. Again, comment down below what video you'd like to see next, or what topic you would like to talk about, or I can try to talk about. And yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for when I post my next video. Catch you guys next time. Peace.